everybody. My name's Vanessa. If you don't know who I am, my channel's called For Those That Struggle. So I just wanted to jump on here and share a little update that has happened yesterday unexpectedly. So I did debate on sharing this word with you today, but I thought, you know what? This is why I have the channel, to give you details of certain situations in my life that occur and how I operate and go about it in Christ. So yesterday, I actually had received my driver's permit 2 days ago, but yesterday was the first day that I was able to drive it because the battery wasn't working. And so my husband had to replace the battery, and it had taken all day. The car hadn't been started in over a month. Um, and I couldn't legally start the car, not having a valid permit. So yeah, the car hadn't been started in over a month. The car wouldn't start. My husband, spent all day changing the batteries, and so it finally got started yesterday, and I was able to get to the bank and pay them the money that I owe them, and I washed the car off because it had been sitting, it needed to be cleaned, and then I had ran by my old former's my former job to drop off their shirts to make sure that they're getting what they need, so that they can bless other people with those shirts that they had provided. And so as I was leaving, I jumped in the car. The car wouldn't start again, and my husband had just put a battery in it, a brand new battery. And so he came up there, he tried to start it, he put another battery in, and we're thinking that it's the alternator. Yeah, the alternator. And so in the process of doing all this, my breathalyzer, for the very first time, it locks me out of the car. Is my breathalyzer, it comes across and says lockout. So I wasn't putting two and two together because, as far as the lockout, because I have never had a lockout. So I'm like, all right, well, I need an alternator, and now the breathalyzer has locked me out of the car. Like, the ignition would not start regardless. And so, I was talking to my husband. We ended up getting on my breathalyzer, the company I go through. I went to them, and they ordered a like, to lock me out. They placed that order, which was $75, and I'm like, okay, this is crazy. And the reason why the lockout occurred, I believe, is because anytime you do maintenance to the car, it could, show a flag it, and if it wasn't reported. So instantly my husband was like, well, maybe you got the lockout because we hadn't put it in the maintenance description yet. So we jumped on there. My husband jumped on there. He, logged it in that he's changing the battery. He has to change the alternator. And so the company's closed till Monday. And so he gave them this information, and it said that the $75 is waived, but now, and I didn't even place this order, it automatically placed it for me. Um, so they're waiving the $75 lockout fee because they understand that the battery was, needing to be changed, and now the alternator needs to be changed. And so we wasn't tampering with it, there was no reason for the lockout. But now they automatically set me up to be scheduled to have my car actually picked up. Well, my car has to be taken several towns away for a specific company to unlock the device, to finish the process. So I'm like, okay, well, now what? Because my car's stuck at this business, and I can do the 24-hour towing. I do have that coverage, insurance coverage. But we first need to get it to the house so we can change the alternator, and then we need to figure out what we're going to do from then to get it to the facility to finally unlock the car. So this was all unexpected, okay? And I just wanted to share this with you because yesterday I did a video, expect the unexpected. Blessings, favor, provision is coming. First of all, I want to say that I don't know how much the battery would have been, but we have a brand new battery, and we do have, an alternator that was like $215. We have both of those that was under warranty. So that's taken care of. The $75 has been waived. Okay. So they did say that I might have a small fee at the facility once they unlock the car. But all this situation, like this came up unexpectedly, like all the issues that I'm having right now. Very first day, March, what was it? Today's March 2nd or March 1st. So, I mean, it's just the very first of the month, and this is happening when God's saying, there's blessings and favor coming. So I just want to say that don't go into your flesh. My flesh wanted to come up yesterday, not against anybody, but about just the situation. I've got to get things done, and they're important, and like I have all this coming at me with the vehicle. I know personally that I sowed at the end of last year towards driving privileges and having a decent car. I actually sowed into somebody at the end of last year towards this, and also this is something God was showing me yesterday when I said expecting something unexpectedly. It goes along with having car issues. Okay, so I don't know how God's going about this. I don't know exactly what he's doing. I just know that I have been faithful with a little. I have done everything I'm supposed to do with this vehicle, with my driver's permit, taking the steps in faith. I know that. And I've been faithful with a little. I've been through a lot with this, and I'm believing that, unexpected miracle is coming and God's going to get the glory. I also want to share, I'm going to go ahead and speak about the business that God has given me the seed for. It's in seed form, and we have to water the seed that God gives us and not allow doubt, fear, financial issues, whatever it is coming up against us, to not walk out what he's calling us to do. So the seed that he has given me, he has shown me, is a child daycare center. Okay. Originally, I thought it was going to be an in-home child daycare center, but he'd showed me a larger view. The home that I am currently in, I do not own. There is actually property attached to this home through family, and originally God had shown me that the land attached to this would be a perfect place for the daycare center. And, God says protect his children. Protect his children. That's what, God is going to use these kids that are coming up to bless, to walk out miracles. This is, God will bless us for our next generation, for our kids. And so through this, I had believed that, this is what God was showing me. This is where the business needs to be. This is going to be a family business. This is going to bless people that are connected to me. And I could see the fullness of it. He, showed me who could be the director of the center. And I have spoke to that person. That person has to be God-led. God has to lead them. And, God showed me an assistant teacher, and I spoke to that person, and they have to be God-led. And this could be a blessing. I can see the fullness of all this for those that are attached to me, but it has to be God-led. And if these people don't want to step up, there will be somebody else. Somebody else will step up. There will be another opportunity. This is not going to be just me being the owner, but this is going to be S corporate. So we will all own it, and we will all have responsibility. So this is what God's showing me. And, so I was told that I cannot use the land. First of all, there would be no reason to have a business on property that I don't own. Okay. So that is not the route right now. That is not the route. And so my next step is to find a piece of land. And I did find one. And I'm going to share a video clip of what God has shown me and the vision that I see, that is a righteous desire. And here I am promoting it. God said promote. I did go to an investor. It's going to take God's miracle, God's provision to come through to make this happen. But I did reach out to an investor as far as being a part of the company to help with the financial aspect of getting the land and getting the building. From the actual building itself, it wouldn't make any sense to buy a building that needs to be worked on because there are strict regulations required to run a daycare center. So the cheapest, best option is to buy a shed, a large shed, a 16 by 48 is what I'm looking at, and that is 900 square feet. So I need at least 900 square feet to fit 20 kids. 20 kids will is legally able to operate under a director and an assistant teacher. This is just to start with, because I would like an entry level director beginning this, and then we can work on an assistant teacher, but we do need a teacher with 60 credit hours in early childhood. Credits. Okay, so yes, we can work towards that, but God showed me, to convert a shed into a daycare center, it'd be one room. The more space you have, the more that you can fit, the more kids you can have, and there would be a small kitchen in the back, and there would be a small bathroom, and the whole place would be open, and there would be a fence, whether it's a chain link. I would prefer a chain link fence, and then some daycare playground equipment in the back for the kids. But this is what he is showing me. This is what he's speaking to me about. I am, have reached out to an investor that has not reached out to me yet, as far as, what, I believe in what you're saying. I believe in God. Yes, I'll be a part of this. Yes, I'll fret you this amount of money under a contract, but they would want a percentage for, 2 or 3 years, depending on what the agreement would be. That is one way that God can do this. Another way is through donations. I have reached out to a couple different companies that God has led me to, and I have not received anything back. And all I can do is be obedient to what he's telling me to do. So I wanted to share this with you. I know people say don't speak what God is showing you and what God's doing because it can be stolen from you. You're going to have issues. People are going to doubt you. But this business is separate from the ministry here that God has given me, to be a shepherd over a flock, to help elevate, going from glory to glory in Christ's word. So this is literally something separate from this. And this is only to bless children that need to be blessed, and also bless my son, because my son is not going to be going into a public school, and he does need kids around him. He needs social interaction around him, and I have a heart for kids. Okay, the name of it is going to be, this is God-given, is called Messy Tots. My nickname was Messy Tots as a child, and God gave this to me as I was looking at my walls and seeing pen mark and crayons on my wall. I'm looking at it and I'm just like, what is the name going to be? And it just literally hit me, Messy Tots. And Messy Tots Child Daycare. So all I can do is prophesy this, speak this, share this, promote this. God said to promote this, and this is why I'm sharing this, and I'm showing you how God operates and how he gives us insight and shows us a bigger picture for our life, a bigger calling, a bigger purpose. Okay, so stay tuned, because I am going to attach a small clip of the vision that I have, and any of you that want to sow into this ministry or into the child daycare, reach out to me. Any advice, reach out to me in my email at for those that struggle at gmail.com. I love you all. I pray this is a blessing for you. This is just, walking a life with Christ, being surrendered and We all have issues. We all still have struggles. We hold on to His word. We don't let it get us down. And we know that He's going to come through. I love you all. God bless you. And I'll talk to you later.